So it's the day after, and what anybody wants to hear today is good news away from what has happened yesterday and all of the devastations of yesterday. Officially, of course, you can see the skies are back to their normal color, away from the toxins of yesterday, away from the fumes of yesterday, away from the smoke that billowed into the sky. And we also expect that that kind of clarity will begin to happen on the ground. We may not have achieved ground zero as it were, because as of today, 3 bodies have been recovered, and we are hoping, or three bodies have been brought out of the rubble. We have just one escalator that is working here today, and hopefully, if we can have more escalators, because there are over 50 houses that are affected in terms of caving in, we can't be too sure or not know if there are still any trapped bodies under those rubbles. And earlier you've seen the governor of the state come in to make some very strong statements as regards funding for relief, 2 billion fund relief that has been set up, 250 million initial deposits. They will hope to fund that and make that more robust and get up to 2 billion. The Speaker of the House also says it's not time for all of the blame games. But again, the consensus around here is that all of that has happened here is avoidable. These are avoidable accidents if people take precaution, if people understand how to really live in a sane and in an urban society. We had a lot of people also come here to support those victims, support people around here, support the people of Lagos State. One of them is the former governorship candidate for the state, Mr. Badamasi, who has come to console and commensurate with those who have had issues here today. First of all, tell us, okay, so what have you made of today's visit?
Well, I'm glad to see that, the men of authority in Nigeria have shown up. My state chairman, Engineer Deji Doherty, has been here. The Speaker of the Federal House of Representatives has been here. I think the governor was here earlier today, Governor of Lagos State, Mr. Babajide Sanwo-Olu was also here. Now, this goes to show, and remember that this constituency, this federal constituency, is represented by a PDP member in the House. Now, this goes to show that this is a national problem. This is a national disaster. And we all must respond as one country. The way we respond when we win in football, we must respond like that, because there has been a disaster that has touched all of us. Now, my primary thing, that my pet issue with this problem, is that it keeps recurring. There has been one in Abule Egba. In fact, there have been 2 in Abule Egba. There was one in Barua, and there have been several others. And we seem to go away with not much by way of lessons. Now, my interview,
If you had, let me ask you this: if you had the ears of those who should be doing the right things, yes, what would be those succinct things you want to say in a few seconds?
I'd say that the right of way for pipelines, we should not allow vehicles to drive on them, because we understand from our interrogation of a few people here, eyewitnesses, that the blast was most likely caused by a truck crossing on the pipeline, and that is where the blast started from. Now, if we can adopt a national policy of putting bridges on top of anywhere hydrocarbon pipelines pass, in order to prevent vehicles from driving directly on the pipelines, then maybe we can begin to move away from this sort of incidents. But more than that, as my chairman has said severally today, everybody needs to pull together. We all need to donate what we can to these people, to the victims of this disaster. There isn't much we can say to them. What we need to do now is act on their behalf.
All right, and that's what we're going to be doing at this very moment. We're going to be acting, doing what we need to do, doing the right things, doing everything that is possible as far as this is concerned. It's a pathetic situation around here. You can see people are still very gloomy. Driving in here, you see a lot of people try to see if they can salvage the little they can salvage from that is left of the rubble, that is left of their property. If I have a few more time, I would like to have like 60 seconds of the state chairman for the People's Democratic Party, under whose constituency, as it were, in terms of representation, this area lies. Mr. Doherty, can we have you, first of all, your first words on seeing what has happened here today?
Well, this is a disaster. It's a really catastrophic disaster. It's something that we haven't seen of this magnitude in Lagos before. It's something that has also shaken the national body in Abuja. The national chairman, Prince Uche Secondus, gave me a call right away and said that we should be here immediately to make sure that presence is also felt.
What kind of support are we going to be seeing from maybe from your side?
Well, the support that you're seeing from my side is really simple. We had already given an advice to government yesterday about a relief fund, and government has acted as at this morning, which we can commend the governor for. He's a listening governor. Now, the other issue is that this thing goes beyond government. We are now calling on the private enterprise, the private companies, the Dangotes of this world, Churchgate, Olam, Indomie Noodle, Mini Noodle, Honeywell, Nigerian Flour Mills, Muka Foam, Teju Foam, and private individuals that can support the community, because they all need beddings, they need food, they need Indomie to eat at night, they need things. They need shelter. And
I think that message is very clear as to what's to be done in terms of relief. I have very few seconds to sign off on this. We've had it all. I mean, a lot of people need to be supported, and well-meaning Nigerians should actually come and support them. It's back to you, Ayo.